All right. Um, I'm Octavio. I'm here with the homie. Introduce yourself.
I'm Joe Munoz.
This is the homie. Take small door real quick. This is a homie from when did we start hanging out? Like Sultana, huh? Because you're a
I
year
feel like
older than me, right? You were a class higher than me.
I was 2013, so
Yeah, I was 2015. Yeah, so you're like
okay,
class or
yeah,
two higher than me. Yeah,
yeah.
because we used to he threw a show back in his house, right? It was two shows, and we knew each other through like because I used to like going to the shows back then. I think that's how I kind of met you because
Yeah.
I don't think we really talked that much at Sultana.
No, I don't think so, but for sure. I don't know if you ever came to the very first Joe Mania.
I didn't go to the Joe Mania. I didn't go to the first one. I went to the second one.
Okay, and the third one.
Yeah. No, not the third one.
Then,
Or was it? Yeah, I think. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
the
The
second
second
one,
one. Yeah.
the second one, I passed out drunk.
Yeah.
I was passed out drunk, and everybody carried me around. I don't remember what happened because I was blacked out, but I heard everybody had a fucking crazy ass time.
Yeah, dude.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. I remember. All I really remember, I got faded. I remember someone getting on the roof.
Yeah, on number two, if you remember my backyard back then, there was a pool,
Yeah.
and then above that pool there was like a really nice flat top.
Right.
Like the roof was like a perfect
Right.
stage.
Right.
But
Right.
the problem is that I forgot what happened. I think because the way the angle was, like it went pool, and then there was a deck with like awnings, and
Right.
then past the awnings was the roof,
Right.
and everybody didn't want to play up there because people couldn't see too well.
Right. That's what it
So
was. It was you guys were gonna have
they ended up playing inside the garage, which was a separate detached garage in the
section.
back.
That was right. I remember
Yeah,
the Nartards, dude.
yeah,
I remember Suburban Goth or fucking. See, the first show I ever went to was it was Suburban Goth. Uh, it was Jason Bowling Shoe and Katrina
yeah,
or Katerina.
yeah. And then
It was at Aiden's room.
yeah,
That's why I want to get Warner on here, dude, because he remembered he was there. He played with Keon. It was when who was the drummer back then?
Jacob.
Was it no? It was before. Was it Jacob? It was
Yeah,
Jacob,
Jacob was
huh?
the original
And Jacob was the original. Okay,
because
yeah,
there was Little Big Sweater. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Little
This
Big
little
Sweater.
big story was like fuck. I remember having their pin, dude.
But there was Suburban Goth as well.
Suburban Dog was their
So
OG.
yeah,
Suburban Dog was the OG, and then
yeah.
Little Big Sweater came out after, right? A little
I
after.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Keon was playing in his underwear. He was in the boxers.
yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure.
his shtick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would drive them around everywhere because Warner got a fucking DUI. So he obviously had a whip and he would drive like to practices and shit. But it ended up that, he unfortunately got a DUI and he couldn't drive, obviously.
Right.
And I started kicking it with the homies again because I had just gotten out of like a toxic relationship.
Right.
So I wanted to party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had been to a couple shows here and there, but I never really like steadily like went or got into the scene.
Yeah.
But I was really good friends with Keon, and Keon was always practicing with Jacob and Warner at the time.
Yeah.
And so when that shit went down a couple of times before, I was giving Keon a ride to the shows,
Yeah.
and then we meet Warner and Jacob there, and then somehow or another I started driving them, and basically I would just tell people I was their manager, and that's how I would get into the shows for free.
That's funny.
Because I'd be like, I'm their fucking manager. But in fairness, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fucking driving them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would tax them all that often for gas. I think maybe every once in a blue while I'd ask for a $5 or something.
Yeah.
Well, only if it was in Fontana. If it was something up
Yeah,
here,
and
I was going to go anyway.
Which
so.
usually some of the I didn't get to go. I didn't get to go, but I heard some of the best shows were down in Fontana and Riverside.
I never went to the Riverside one, but I went to the Fontana ones. And I think there was a few in, what's that city? Rialto.
Rialto, yeah.
Rialto, Fontana.
Yeah, because another spot up here that was rad that we used to go to a lot was Eddie's house.
Yeah, Eddie's house was cool.
Down the street, and Daniel's spot was pretty rad too.
Yeah,
Daniel had a fucking
that spot was cool.
That spot was cool. I remember getting fucked up at that fucking. Getting fucked up at Daniel's house. I remember watching Warner get stalked by some female.
Yeah,
that shit was rad. That shit was funny as fuck.
Oh, do you remember?
I'm about to have him tell the story.
You remember Esteban?
Yeah,
okay,
dude.
Do you remember that? I think it was at Daniel's house. Esteban was fucking with Eddie Romo. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Dude,
no,
he was like, I want you to fucking punch me. I want you to fucking punch me.
Oh, yeah.
And then Eddie was like, dude, no, chill. And like at the time, Eddie, I don't know about now, but for sure he was like big into like big in the gym and shit.
Yeah.
And Esteban was like, just fucking hit me. And then
he was faded.
And then Eddie like hit him like super hard in the chest. And it was crazy because Esteban was just eating him, bro. He was like, hit me, like just like, you know, Esteban gets where he's like super faded. Yeah. He gets all crazy. Yeah, bro. I remember that because like the thuds were so deadly. But it was crazy because like Esteban was just like standing there.
Yeah.
And then Eddie finally stopped, and then I remember that distinctly. Like if I had to remember a story,
I feel like he was the one that really carried all of the shows. Like he not carried them, but like he was very like spontaneous or like.
Daniel was or
no Esteban.
Oh,
Esteban,
like the energy of the show.
Yeah, like he would just start like doing random shit. You get all fucked up like that. That was who else was the one that danced around a lot was fucking rad. Was Trenton Willard. I like.
Yeah, Trenton was cool. Actually,
I haven't talked to him in a minute.
Fuck, the last time I saw Trenton was like. Where was I, dude?
I thought he was dancing. They were all fucking.
Yeah. I was either in. Oh my god, I don't know where it was, either Orange County or fucking Fontana, but I remember seeing him somewhere, dude. I don't know.
Him and his boyfriend?
Him and his no, it was just him. But he was with this bitch.
Yeah.
And they were like at a liquor store or something. I can't remember the details, bro. I'll be honest with you. But I remember going into his apartment and his boyfriend was there. And it was just super cool because he's like really cool people.
Yeah. And
that was the last time I saw him, bro. That was like
Ryan, right? Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah,
that was a minute ago.
Yeah, Trent was like a chill person, but when they got together, like they're like a power couple, dude. They're very fucking. You just hit it, yeah. They're real cool people, dude. Yeah, they're funny. One or two that I remember, like, because it was Emiliano's the one that invited me to the show at Aiden's house.
Yeah,
in his room, and I remember hearing him and JC. I was like, what the fuck, like. Because around that time I was like heavy into like psychobilly, so I wasn't into like alternative and I was just like heavy into like rock and roll and shit like that, you know.
It was like
so hearing that was like very different. I was like, what the fuck? But it was cool though.
They called it like shoegaze.
Shoegaze was yeah.
I guess it is a form of alternative. I mean, me personally, I was just like, I don't know. I didn't really like the music to the point where I listened to it
right
personal time.
Yeah.
But you know, it was definitely a vibe.
Right.
But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, that was my shit. Like,
no, to me,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
to me, that was my shit, bro. I don't know why, like,
it's like Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah,
but so
cool. See, but that's. I feel like Katarina and Suburban Goth. I feel like they were deeper though than that. You feel me? Like it was more like they were.
Well, Katarina was like obviously like I would say probably the number one contender in bands in the whole circle. Well, I would say that Suburban Goth was like hard top 3.
Yeah.
Depending on like what we're talking about. But I would always tell Warner this, whenever they fucking made like a really grungy, gritty fucking song.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play it. Even though it got the most like people riled, I don't think that was his vision.
Right.
So he didn't want to continue that, which I respect, but it's like, damn, brother, dude, like
that was a hit. For me, it was the Nartards that had the best. They
were pretty high. They were like, almost like
they had, exactly.
Almost
when Travis had the mask. No, that to me those sets were the best. But like, because you got to think about it, like me, dude. Like I said, I was just into rock and roll, so like fighting this shit, you know what I mean, and like getting like heavy into it and just being faded, bro. Like crossfaded at every show, dude, and like
Yeah.
it was a vibe. I remember there was one show, and I gotta have some of the homies on, see if they remember. It was in Apple Valley. I don't know if you were there. I think you were there. It was the one where they shot off the fireworks at the end of the night and they tried to fight us or something like that. It was they had the pool. Well, so what I remember is getting there and getting faded, and like I think like two bands had already started,
Okay.
but it wasn't really popping off. And I remember the homeowner, because it was, I don't know, you know, sometimes it's random ass homeowners.
Yeah.
So like we're talking about like we rolled up a blunt, we're smoking.
Yeah.
They're talking about like, oh, like, you know, someone needs to jump into the pool. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants to get in the pool, but no one wants to like.
Yeah, that's how
everyone. That's, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'll do it. I was all faded. He's like, yeah, here, I'll give you this bottle. It was fucking, what was it? What was it? It was the spiced what's it called?
Spice Mountain?
No, it was the one with the devil, the whatever it was. It was like a bottle of some like gnarly whiskey, you know what I mean? And so he's like, yeah, I'll give you this if you know you jump in the pool. It was a pretty big pool. It was jump in the pool with your clothes on.
Oh shit!
Fuck, I'm down. So I took whatever. Yeah, I took a shit out and I jumped in, dude. I remember being so faded that when I jumped in, like I almost drowned. Like I forgot how to swim.
Shit, you're
I forgot how to float. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh. So I had to like go into like the, you know what I mean, the whatever end, the other end, and finally got out. But like people were like, oh fuck it, whatever. So it was cool, dude. After that, like I remember getting fucked up. They had us like they didn't want people like using the restroom outside or peeing outside or whatever. So they had like a specific little like restroom or whatever. I remember getting so faded. I went into the restroom, peed, and I got lost coming back out.
Oh shit!
Like I accidentally went inside the house. I was like, oh no, that's not. I had to turn around and go outside. I was fucking faded, bro. Like a lot of those shows you used to go to used to be just fucking hammered, bro. I don't really get faded like that anymore, but those were the fucking days, bro. That shit was faded.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where I would get like overly fucked up. There was this one time, I don't know if you remember, but I chugged like a whole like fifth of vodka. Like it was like a glass bottle. It was like a whole fifth.
Where?
I don't know what fucking party it was. It was somewhere in Victorville by the golf course. And
because Hugo used to have at his house, he has to have some good shows too, dude. Those shows are pretty good too.
Yeah, Hugo's house was the best.
Yeah.
But no, there was this one time where basically the whole it had to have been a show.
But like Peach, I think, huh? I think I remember walking to one of those shows.
I don't know, but basically like there was a whole big ass bottle of vodka, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was already empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh bro, I'm gonna fill this with water and I'm gonna chug it and I'm gonna see. And so like I think I was with my boy Chris. Falcon.
Oh, Falcon.
And like he was like, no, that's fucking stupid. He was like, but you should do it anyways. And so I did it. And like deadass, everybody thought that that's really what time I was on, and that's not what time I was on at all. But the craziest part is my boy Chris was like, "Yo, check this tweet out," and he sent me a tweet, and it said, "I just witnessed someone at a party filling up a fifth of vodka handle and then chugging it." He was like, "But I'm not gonna say who."
That's hilarious.
And I was like, "Oh shit!"
That's funny.
But it was funny. It was just like for the shock and all. I wasn't trying to get sauced up like that.
Yeah.
But everybody was treating me like that. They were like,
no,
oh,
but you know what's crazy is I remember fucking people used to get fucking stupid, like throwing themselves faded.
Oh yeah, people would be fucking retarded,
man. But no, like what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like to me, it, because even nowadays, like there's still like shows and shit. Like I went to a show not too long ago, and they're getting pretty fucking good. I'll watch it if you want. They're still pretty good, but to me that was my shit. Was like the shoegaze shit was like, to me that's where, I mean, it's cool now, like, but a lot of this shit nowadays is like hardcore, like fucking, or a lot of it's like grindcore, which is cool. I think it's really like seeing these like kids and shit like that, like seeing the new generation or whatever get into like bands and get in a show that's rad, but I don't know, it's like a different vibe. You feel me? It's not like,
dude, it's such a small, like small subculture.
Now. Yeah,
but it was small back then.
Not well. There was a couple times where we had it fucking popping, like we had it, but
no, for sure. But I'm saying like in terms of like worldwide, like like United States, like even fucking
Yeah.
People in the Midwest don't even fucking rock and roll like that
Yeah.
no more. you
No,
know,
that's
like-
true. Yeah. Especially because after like COVID, I feel like COVID got everyone scared and shit like that.
Yeah,
Because
but
like,
even back like when shows that we were going to all the time, like I don't feel like that was that big of like a movement.
no,
You know what I mean? Like you
yeah.
had to know someone to know someone.
But I mean, if I remember correctly, dude, we used to have a show at least every other weekend.
No, for sure.
Like at least
Dude,
every
do
weekend
you
there's
remember
something
that?
popping up.
Do you remember that show? I forgot where the fuck it was, man, because I was just so stoned all the time. But it was that show where those chicks that started a record label, they threw a show, and what's his face was there? Puya was there.
Out
And-
here?
No, bro. It was
Oh.
like somewhere down the hill. I forgot these bitches' names, bro. But the people who are listening, if they even give a shit, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, it was like an actual legit venue,
Yeah.
and all like like Katarina, Suburban Goth, everybody got a chance to be at the show.
Aiden has a story about that. I'm pretty sure it's on my YouTube. When I interviewed him,
Okay, yeah. So everybody was supposed to get paid, not like buku money. But you know, the girls were like, "Oh, we're gonna give everybody like $200, whatever."
Promoters,
And,
like
the
money.
promoters. I forgot their fucking names, but you people know who they are. And fuck whoever they are. So they burned over everybody from the high desert, but they also try to burn over Puya. And I remember, you remember Nathan?
Yeah.
So me and him were rolling together all the time at that time, like always at the same spot, pulling it together.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember he was big into Puya, right? And this fool was gonna be at the show, and he got to meet him, and it was so funny because Puya was having like the biggest breakdown. He was like, "Man, these little fucking bitches owe me my money, blah blah blah." And Nathan was just like cracking up. He was like, "Yo, man," he was like, "Do you want a dab?" He was like, "Maybe in a little bit, bro." He was like,
Dabster, that fool was the fucking dab god.
But it was cool because like Nathan was super chill, and like he got to meet Puya, so
yeah,
it was cool seeing all that unravel.
Right
and then
on.
I guess they just stayed locked in that room until everybody left.
That's
you know.
Yeah, I remember Aiden telling me something about those bits. Yeah, they never paid no one. They never heard of it. Yeah.
No, they just took the proceeds.
Yeah.
I think probably what happened is maybe the venue ended up being more than they thought, and then they didn't have the money.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of the times people, like, especially when you're trying to come up like that, you're not trying to burn people as you're coming up. You're trying to, pay them when you can.
Yeah, right.
But sometimes I feel like maybe they didn't do the accounting properly, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we offered too much." At that point, you should have been like, "All right, well, let's pay Puya and then see what we can do for other people," because they still had power to do things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so maybe that one was a bust.
Yeah,
but they still proved to people like, "Hey, we can sell tickets." They should have done a little bit better.
Yeah, I have it even on my YouTube. It's I did an interview with Aiden.
Yeah,
because he had came out with with that one. What's the album the one where he the most recent one he did on himself, but I had interviewed him. He told me that story because I told him like, what was, I forgot what I asked him. What was something you remember happening or something? He's like, oh yeah, I remember that show, and people were fucking pissed, and we never got paid, and I was like, what? So I mean, you can go check it out or whatever. It's on my channel, but that's crazy that you have your side of the story too.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same story. I mean, because everybody was stoked, and I think like Keon and Warner, they're like, "Yeah, bro, we'll shoot you like $25 for gas, blah blah." I was like, "Oh, okay, sick," blah blah.
Yeah.
So like everybody kind of had a little bit at stake,
right?
For what was going on, but I just feel like they should have handled that better, man. Because like, if they could have proved that the business model works, and they told the bands like, "Hey, you could see we're selling tickets," maybe some of the bands would have been like, "Okay." Because honestly, I don't remember where the venue was, but I don't think it was all that far away where it was like, bro, we spent hundreds of dollars. Like it was maybe like $40 of gas at most if you're in a shitmobile. You know what I mean? Because gas wasn't too much back then. Like, it was recoverable, is what I'm saying. It wasn't like
no,
I mean, it wasn't like and then everybody still had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's right that the artist got fucking gypped, but it was like people showed up. People fucking got a good time.
Yeah.
Puya performed like
Right.
I
It was
mean, the only thing that sucked is like Puya because for that fool, I mean, I think he was from Florida, so
yeah.
he
So
needs
he
all the
came
money.
out here.
Like he needs his money, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's when he was like coming up, huh? Like,
yeah,
he
like
wasn't still like he
yeah,
was,
yeah.
So he
This
was like,
was like
no,
this is like 2015, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like middle
No,
of
yeah.
2015.
I remember too. I kind of they had went up to Oregon. No, they
Yeah, they
toured
went
up
on like a little
tour or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember seeing pictures that they posted. It's beautiful out there. I want to go out there soon. Maybe not soon, but sometime I want to go.
I've been
up to the.
I've been to Seattle twice.
Oh, really? I have a cousin out there that I want to go visit.
Go see what's up, dude.
Yeah, dude, the woods and all that stuff. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But all right, dude. I'll probably cut it short, dude. But thanks for coming by talking. I'm telling you, dude. I wanna have other homies too. Have everyone else's perspective and stuff because I even had Aiden a while back and he had his side of that story. So that's funny that.
No, yeah, that was definitely some controversy.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
Sure.
I wonder. We gotta find out who the fuck those bitches were and put them on blast again. Like,
dude, you know who would have the answer to that? Keon.
Okay,
Keon would know.
We gotta get Keon in. Yeah, I gotta.
Keon's Keon's gonna be in town until October.
Okay,
and he's going back to Europe.
Yeah, so I know. I want to get Duder too. He said he'd be down, so I want to see what's up with that. I got Miliana too, JC Bowling Shoe. I want to see, I want to see his, cause his music was rad. Like his music was out there. It was weird. Like so, I want to see hear who inspired him or like what made him like do that weird shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, but cool. Thank you, Doug.